It's going to be very difficult to try to fit into modern expectations for women and then also be very feminine, because modern expectations of women actually don't include a lot of femininity. There's a lot of idolization of masculinity, especially in the West right now. Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name is Caitlin and I run the blog called Mrs. Midwest. It is officially 2020. We are starting a new decade. I'm so excited to kick off the year with you all, and I thought it would be a wonderful opportunity for us to pause and maybe consider how we can have a fresh and feminine 2020, a fresh and feminine new year. The goal is really to be softer, warmer, welcoming, creative, expressive, emotional, sensitive. So what I'm going to tell you isn't just simple, wear pink and smile more. This is a little bit more of a heart transformation, because that's where femininity ultimately comes from. It comes from your heart, your essence, and that's why a woman can be feminine when she is ancient and well past her prime, or when she is a young blossoming woman. So femininity, being softer, that is the goal for 2020. So the first area of being more feminine is going to be very difficult, but why not start with the hardest part? It's all about leaving behind your resentments and your anger, forgiving people for 2020. The problem is that resentment and anger and bitterness causes you to be very harsh, and that actively goes against that theme of softness that we're going for. Okay, so if you have a lot of bitterness, resentment, anger, I really encourage you to begin doing the heart work, maybe the counseling work, the spiritual work, to forgive people and to move forward from your anger, your bitterness, that hard shell that you may carry. You can be discerning, you can be a strong woman, and you can be feminine, because there's a difference between being discerning and being full on defense mode all the time, being bitter, resentful. We've all had difficult things happen in our life, and because of that, we're going to accrue this laundry list of hurt, people who have hurt us, situations that have hurt us, and if you carry that forward with you, it might inhibit your feminine growth journey. I would not be able to forgive without first receiving forgiveness from God through my Savior Jesus Christ, his death on the cross. You guys know I'm a Christian, that's my religion, but God really enables me to forgive the people in my life who have hurt me and to move forward. And one of the things I do is to say to that person, as if they were in front of me, I forgive you. And I say it every day until it's true, because forgiveness is really an action more than it is a feeling. Most of us have a strong justice complex. We're not going to wake up and just feel like forgiving that person who hurt us. But if you can say that out every day, if you can live out actions that reflect forgiveness, it will come much more naturally. And I really encourage you, if you want to be softer in 2020, if you want to have a fresher year, if you want to be a more welcoming person to be around, you're going to need to move past those resentments. Bitterness inhibits a woman from embracing her femininity, because it is inherently an unwelcoming spirit. It's an unwelcoming posture, and it is something that inhibits your relationships, and femininity is inherently relational. Again, this doesn't mean giving into bad people. It doesn't mean being foolish. It doesn't mean being a stupid woman who just lets people take advantage of her. No, you can be discerning and forgiving. So let that be encouraging to you, and let's move to number 2, which is much lighter, and it's all about incorporating feminine style and beauty. Okay, so I said this video was really going to be about the heart, but honestly, style and beauty reflects the heart. I always talk about our individual beauty recipe, because I think that's so important in embracing our beauty as women. And we don't all look the same, and that's beautiful. But part of embracing that beauty is caring for your body, caring for your health, because beauty does reflect femininity. The essence of femininity is something that beautifies. Beautify your outer body by caring for your health, your diet, your sleep schedule, and make sure that you are feeling confident in the way you look and that you're caring for that temple. As I always say, beauty does take a level of discipline. It is not for the faint of heart. Keeping a sleep schedule, working out, making sure your clothes are put together, that is a task in of itself, so take on a little bit more of that this year. Just incorporate a little bit more every day. Put on an accessory, maybe curl your hair once a week, give yourself a pedicure, get a little bit more sleep. Do those little things here and there, and they will add up. Feminine style and beauty is about making you look your best and really creating a dichotomy between masculinity. So stepping away from those androgynous styles. We have a lot of styles for younger women nowadays where they have a full face of makeup and maybe even their hair is done, but then they're wearing a very slouchy, loungy outfit. That's very common. Women are eager to feminize their faces and their hair, but not so much their clothing. So if you really want to stand out as a feminine woman, one of the best ways you can do that is with your clothing. Differentiate yourself from that activewear style, androgyny, loungewear, risque, kind of clubbing wear, you know. Go for that really elegant, feminine, classic, timeless, traditional look, and you will differentiate yourself as a feminine woman. One of the best ways you can do this: dresses, skirts, accessories, feminine colors. I have so much content about this on my channel, but it's one of the best ways you can begin feeling more feminine in 2020. And I know that might seem backwards, but the way we present ourselves in a uniform often reflects the way we carry ourselves. It reflects how we feel about ourselves, shows the message we want to give to the world. So if you're struggling with femininity a little bit, try doing it with clothing and beauty and see how that affects your spirit, your posture, your confidence. You will be amazed. And this leads us to number 3, which is about releasing yourself from that mold of cool. So 2020, who even knows what's going to be cool this year, but I can tell you that it's probably not traditional women being very feminine. You know, that's not been the coolest thing in the last 10, 20, 30 years, but that's okay. One of the biggest roadblocks for women to be more feminine is often their worry about their reputation, what other people will think of them, standing out. A lot of women don't want to stand out, and I can really understand that. But if you want to be more feminine this year, you're going to have to move past that, because it's going to be very difficult to try to fit into modern expectations for women and then also be very feminine, because modern expectations of women actually don't include a lot of femininity. There's a lot of idolization of masculinity, especially in the West right now. So if you're going to want to be more feminine, you're just going to have to forget the idea of being very cool, but you can carve out a new mold of what cool is for you. It kind of feels like everybody out there right now has this idea of cool where it's like a bad bee, you know, very unbothered, just like so chill. But a lot of women, especially when you're expressing femininity, you know, there's emotion there, there's sparkle, there's life, there's creativity. There's a level to that that's not that androgynous, unbothered, uncaring kind of presence. And that's something that you can really live into if you want a fresh and feminine year. You know, break free from those expectations of what cool is, and set up your own version of who you are, your identity. Don't build your identity upon some sort of societal mold, and just embrace it. You know, I don't really worry about looking cool anymore because I've just embraced my role as a homemaker. That's not the coolest thing. I've embraced my femininity, and it's okay. That's what's so beautiful about femininity, because it encompasses emotion and creativity and personality and passion and so much sparkle and life, and it really allows you to embrace almost that whimsical, innocent, childlike side, or that seductive, you know, womanly side of yourself. And that's why I love embracing femininity, because it makes room for so much of who I am. Because instead of creating us into these Stepford wife clones, as you would think it does, it actually releases you to be much more of an individual. And part of being feminine is being an individual, because femininity looks different on every woman. We're all going to express our style differently, our interests, our personality, but the overarching theme is that softness. Don't fear people calling you cringy. Don't fear people trying to embarrass you. So I encourage you to spend some time journaling. Write down, like, what messages are you trying to give off with your lifestyle, the way you dress, your personality, your presence, you know, and how can you be more feminine? You know, what roadblocks are there to being feminine? And just release yourself from whatever mold you're holding. You know, having passion, caring about things, risking someone calling you cringy, whatever. It's good. It's good to care about life. That's really what femininity is about. It's about releasing yourself from those expectations of other people and living out that femininity yourself. All right, my 4th tip this year is to set some goals. You're going to hear this in every single 2020 New Year's resolution video, but with femininity, set femininity goals. Now, this could be your style and beauty like we talked about, but it can also be hobbies. It can be your relationships. It can be the way you speak. There are so many videos on YouTube from myself and other girls about how to be more feminine in very niche areas, okay? So choose a few areas, hone in on them, and see how you could be more feminine. I did this a couple years ago by trying to be more feminine with my clothing. So I started buying clothing that was less androgynous, clothing that had more color in it, and I started trying to wear more accessories. I'm still on that accessories journey. I don't always love wearing jewelry, but it's a journey, and that's what I'm trying to get at. It's not about, December comes, 2020, can you check these boxes? It's about setting these goals and running towards them and then seeing where that journey takes you, because it might take you somewhere completely different, and that's the beauty of the journey. So come up with some femininity goals, whether that is your hobbies, how you decorate your home, how you adorn yourself, how you speak to other people, how you interact with men, the type of men you go for, your career, whatever, Embrace your femininity by creating clear-cut goals, and don't just do really huge goals like dress more feminine. That's too big of a goal. That's not clear-cut enough. So draw in some clarity and do specific goals, right? Look more feminine with accessories by wearing earrings every single day. Be very specific with those goals, and they might sound like too small of goals to have for a new year, but I promise you they're not. Find those small goals, wear matching socks, buy some new underwear, put some more feminine colors in my home, get 8 hours of sleep a night, make a very specific list of goals. The more micro you can get with these goals, the more successful you will be. So create these clear-cut goals, be creative. Girls, write in the comment sections below what your goals are going to be. Inspire other people. If a comment section ever mattered, it's right now, because we're going to be inspiring each other for the year to come. So write those below. But really, clear-cut goals is better. Even though your heart is in the right place and you want to change a lot, smaller is better. All right, my fifth and final tip for a fresh and feminine 2020 is to stay in your own lane. For 2020, let it be the year that you stop comparing yourself to other women, stop complaining about them, stop gossiping about them, stop obsessing about them, and focus on your own journey. The issue with this is ultimately that the more you fixate on somebody in a negative way, the more time you're spending in that negative emotion, that negative headspace, and that is not feminine. It's not going to make you softer. It's not going to make you more welcoming. It's not going to make you more pleasant to be around. It's going to add negativity to your life. Okay, so whoever you're fixated on that you just can't stand, or you love spreading gossip, quit it, okay? Stay in your own lane. This will make you more feminine because it'll draw out compassion from you. And I'm not saying you can't critique people, you can't look at what they're doing wrong and call that out. That's good. We should be discerning and critiquing people. But really what I'm talking about is unnecessary fixation on other women for whatever negative reason, okay? So allow other people to inspire you. Be inspired by their content, but don't hate follow people. Don't watch someone waiting for their demise and waste time there, okay? Stay in your own lane. And someone who starts drama, starts gossip, conflict, is a quarrelsome person, a nagging person, that's not someone who's soft, feminine, welcoming, and warm. It's not someone you want to be around. And I want you all to be people that other people want to be around. I want you to have community. I want you to have relationships. And that's why I want to be kind of harsh with you right now. And to tell you that the more you are looking at other people and you're not staying in your own lane, the worse you're going to feel about yourself and the more problems you're going to cause with other people. So I really encourage you, one of the best things you can do is say no to gossip. I did this in college, high school. I decided to stop gossiping. And of course I slipped up a bunch of times, but for the most part, gossip was not a part of my life. It's still not part of my life, and it has made life so much sweeter. And I've just discovered so many more hobbies, things to do, stuff to talk about. And I really encourage you, if gossip is your main fodder of conversation, if other people are your main fixation, you're not spending enough time on your own journey. You're not spending enough time on your own productivity. And ultimately, you're missing out on the beauty of life, because the beauty of life is experiencing life from your perspective and getting to know people from your perspective, learning learning things from your perspective. It's not about constantly putting yourself in someone's shoes and saying how you would live their life better, or fixating on the mistakes of other women, or obsessing about other women. Rid yourself of those negative things while remaining discerning. It's not about just being positive 100% of the time, but it's about not causing drama, not being a slanderous person, not being a gossip. There's a difference between critiquing and discerning and gossiping and being harsh. So if you want a fresh and feminine 2020, you're gonna need to leave that stuff behind. Go for that heart transformation. For my Christians especially, this is very biblical. The Lord does not like gossip. He does not like slander. He does not like it when women are busybodies. That is scriptural. That is for my Christians. That is what motivates me. I fail often at that, and I have to repent. So I really encourage you, fresh and feminine 2020, leave behind that bitterness, leave behind that resentment, leave behind that gossip and slander, and step into feminine style. Step into your goals as a feminine woman, and ultimately release the need to fit into whatever cool girl mold you have holding you back. Embrace individuality, celebrate other women being feminine, and ultimately know that this is a journey. You're probably not even going to be done by 2020. No one's ever done. We're all on a journey. So thank you so much for watching. I love this topic. There will be more of this kind of content on my channel throughout the year. You know that it is a theme of my blog and channel to talk about homemaking, traditional living, and femininity. If you're interested in more of this kind of content, I have so much content about femininity on my blog and on this YouTube channel. Feel free to follow me on Instagram. I post on my story daily, and in total, I hope you have a wonderfully blessed and fresh feminine 2020, my beautiful sisters.